Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we have got some Traptrix stuff to talk about. This deck is legit. The structure deck for this set, this archetype is crazy. It has 8 new cards. I think all 8 of them are going to be played in the deck, or at least you probably should be playing them all in the deck, except for maybe the draw spell. But I think every other card you probably should be playing in one way or another, depending on the variant you play. But that's amazing. It's why I love structure decks when they're made for archetypes I love. But yeah, here's a quick little outline of a deck list. I wouldn't read too much into it. This is a super early deck list with like very minimal testing. So, you know, don't read too much into ratios and stuff like that. We're just playing enough to give you an idea of what the deck could look like with all the new cards. A couple of interesting things in the side deck, though, that's not shown here. This deck can play Shifter. It is minimally hurt by Shifter, so this could even also be a Shifter deck, which is insane. You know, and then some other options here that are just random, nothing too crazy as far as that stuff is concerned. If you don't know, whoa, jeez. Oh my gosh, my freaking mouse is so blown away. Okay, so yeah, getting into it, all the new cards. You have Pudica. She's another really good normal summon. She searches the field spell. That's a double summon that then offers like another reborn on a later turn, which is really cool. Arachnocampa, also really solid. This card summons itself in the hand for free, which means Vesiculo. I don't like, why did you make Vesiculo, Konami, when you were just gonna make Arachnocampa anyway, and it's just way better? I don't know. And then for the new trap holes, Delusion and Holetaea. Delusion is the new trap hole. What I love about this card is it can fire at any point as long as your opponent special summoned a monster this turn. Only drawback for it is it can only hit monsters with 2,000 or higher attack. That's the downside, so it can be played around, but still, that is not too bad of a restriction. And I believe with something like Rafflesia, this is even nicer because it's an interruption that, like with Rafflesia, you just fire whenever. You know what I mean? Now Rafflesia is just a Dryad for something 2,000 or higher, which is really solid. And then the new Holetaea. This card is amazing. This is the last card revealed a couple days ago. It is Shade Briganing before Traptrix. You do have to send a trap card is it from your hand specifically? Let's see. By discarding a normal trap. So you do have to send it from hand. Unfortunately, you can't send it from field, but that's not a problem. This card is very accessible. Sarah gets it. Myrmeleo gets it. Right, so it's very, very easy to access that way. And yeah, trigger Sarah turn 1 and makes your in-engine being able to search this out and like get Sarah triggered turn 1 is really, really good for combos. And then for the extra deck, you have the new Link 3. This card allows you to go for game. That's the main purpose of it. Boosts all Traptrix monsters 1,000, which makes itself 28. It makes all your medium, like Sarah's just 18 while that card's on the field, like 25, 26, 19, 27. Like they all become like really, really big now because of her. So you're able to go for game with her really nicely. And then the other new one's Pingucula. This card's the rank 4 that can search any Sarah card or any Traptrix monster, which is really good as well. And then it has like an interruption, sort of an interruption, depending on the deck you're playing against, while it's face up on the field. And then the rest is just rank 4 gumbo. You should honestly take out some of these. Zeus should be in here, which I didn't put in here. And then like Asa should be in the deck for sure. As some things I'd switch around, but like I said, don't read too much into this exact list here. So let's go ahead and get out of here real quick. Let's go to our replays because we need to look at our 3 replays here. First and foremost, this first combo is just going to be Mantis. The whole idea here was to show that before, Mantis did nothing. Before, if you drew just Mantis and the rest of your hand was whatever, generic cards, traps, hand traps, whatever, it was literally normal summon Mantis, probably search a Dionea, and then make Sarah pass. That was it. But now, because of Arachnocampa, this card actually offers us legit really good value. So here we go. We're going to normal Mantis. We're going to use Mantis, search Arachnocampa, make Sarah here, use Arachnocampa. What's so good about Arachnocampa is it activates to summon. They could have made this card just summon, and it would have played around certain cards from your opponent, but it is better that it activates because it triggers Sarah, and it allows place for this to be way better, because now we're able to trigger Sarah and just set a trap hole. So it's not amazing. I'm not here to say that you know, Mantis one card crazy combo, but before Mantis was literally normal summon, make Sarah, and you have just a Diana in hand for next turn, I guess. But now it's a Sarah with any trap hole you want and Arachnocampa on the field, which means technically you could have made a second Sarah just so that way if you didn't have much else going on, you don't lose to your opponent just going battle phase and running over a Sarah. They would have to clear over 2 Sarahs to do that without triggering your trap hole, and you know, that's just a little safer that way, but still just worth mentioning there. And while Arachnocampa is on the field, the first time each set card in your spell and trap card would be destroyed, it is not. So also offering back row protection, where in a hand scenario like this, you would almost expect that the rest of your hand would have a Compulse, an Imperm, whatever. So you might have other back row, and it just makes it so you're not losing. So even post side, we're not losing to Lightning Storm. We're not losing to evenly matched, still be a little bit annoying, but not losing to Harpy's Feather Duster, stuff like that. Still very, very nice. So let's get out of there. Let's take a look at our second combo here. This second combo is going to be Myrmeleo plus any trap hole. This could technically be a Myrmeleo plus any trap period, but because of, you know, we're going to be able to do some cool synergy to get that trap hole back, we're going to go ahead and show off it with a trap hole. This could be Gravediggers or Holetaea, the new Shade Bringing card, because if you don't have one, you're grabbing the other pretty much. So let's get into it. Starting off here, of course, by normal summoning Myrmeleo. She's going to go ahead and search us the new Holetaea card. You got to make Sarah first here, right? Obviously, so that way when we fire the Holetaea, Sarah's going to be able to trigger. Got to discard the trap hole from hand to summon Holetaea. We're going to grab Diana from the deck, so that way Diana can set the trap hole we ditched, and then that's also going to trigger the Sarah to set Delusion. We're going to make Pinguicula in this situation. It's important to note that there's a couple of different options. Obviously, a lot of these combos just end up, like the last part of the combo is just you making a rank 4. Sometimes it's even making 2 rank 4s. In this scenario, I'm showing off going for Arachnocampa here. Arachnocampa is a quick effect to summon from hand. So if your opponent does go Lightning Storm, does go Harpy's Feather Duster, we'd be able to chain Arachnocampa, summon it to protect the back row, or even Twin Twisters too, even seeing that, see an uptick in play with like in tier and stuff. And then they just fizzle their destruction completely, and that's really annoying for them. And if you don't need it, cool, you hold in hand its follow-up, that works too. There. And then this card's also just, like I mentioned, this card's sort of an interruption. It just says, let's see, if a monster that is owned by your opponent is sent to the graveyard or banished by card effect. So generically, like if anything's just sent to grave or banished by card effect, you can attach one of them to this card as material. It's particularly good with versus stuff like tier. When a tier monster is sent to grave as card effect, it's going to trigger engrave on their turn as Chainlink 1, and then this as Chainlink 2 would be able to actually just attach that card to it, and that would cause the tier monster to not resolve. So it's actually really solid there. To kind of just essentially be a tier negate every turn, which is cool. And then on top of that, be another search next turn. It's really solid. So I went for this. You made this with a trap as well, so keep that in mind. When we detach the Holetaea, that's just a reborn on a later turn for any Traptrix monster in grave. So like summoning back a Diana setting another trap hole. It's all rotating into even more resources. Phenomenal. Really good 2-card combo. And then we'll show off the last one here before we get out of here. This is another 2-card combo. I wanted to show off the field spell stuff. So this is Pudica plus Diana. I've already shown Myrm. I've already shown Mantis. I've already shown Arachnocampa pretty much in every combo. So we're going to show Pudica plus Diana. Kind of a weird pairing, but it still works out pretty well. Almost any 2-card combo in this deck is really insane. I think except for like Myrm plus Mantis, it's like all solid, like really, really good. So yeah, let's take a look here. We're going to start by normal summoning Pudica. She searches the field spell on normal. we're going to make Sarah activate the field spell, do the additional normal for Dionea to summon back the Pudica. It's important to note here, by the way, Pudica, when she's special summoned, kind of like how Myrm pops a back row, Pudica can target an opponent's special summon monster and banish it till the next standby phase, which is pretty cool. So if we're doing this combo going second, let's say you used a Dark Ruler no more, something like that, this is like you're also banishing a monster, helping start clear that board up a little bit here for yourself. But yeah, or even just playing an interruption, potentially making it more annoying for your opponent to find a good point to throw interruptions at you. But by the way, on resolution of that, you're using Sarah to set a trap hole. We're going Gravedaggers here just cuz. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and make a rank 4 and call it quits there. So again, another 2-card combo. We're not ending on a trap, so I wouldn't go Redoer, but Dweller's available. Technically, Baguska's available. Rafflesia is available. So a couple really good options there. One thing that I think is interesting with Rafflesia as well is that she can use you can send any whole normal trap card that meets its activation conditions from your deck to the grave. Which means I'm pretty sure you can just like, well, but that's the weird thing. From your deck to the graveyard. No, actually, I don't think it works with Holetaea because Holetaea summons itself. So if you have to send it from deck to grave, it wouldn't summon itself. So I think the one weird one is it doesn't work with Holetaea. But like I said before, having access to the other one, Delusion Trap Hole, so that way, once your opponent special summoned, it's just dried it for any 2000 attack or higher monster. That's really, really solid. And then it also hits a card in grave at the same time. That's a really, really good value. So just showing off a couple of small combos. Technically, there are going to be 3 and 4 card combos too. It's going to be one of those things where you just look how much gas you have and you just boom, 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 boom. There are going to be combos where you're ending on like 2 to 3 trap cards, including like 2 trap holes you had searched out that turn, as well as a Sarah and maybe even 2 rank 4s on top of it. It's what I love. There's so many good rank 4s in the game, so there's good utility for matchups. Like Dweller's going to be insane sometimes, Bagusa's going to be insane sometimes, Rafflesia and not Pudica, the other one, can't remember the name right now, Pingucula are going to be insane depending on certain matchups, and it's just really solid. I think this deck is in a really good position. Its going first turns are way more impressive, consistent, and powerful, and even going second, it does way more to like play going second, especially Arachnocampa. It's a card I would consider playing at 3 just because it just jumps on the field. It keeps allowing us to like through interruption get bodies on field, and that has a lot of value. So yeah, I think that deck's really cool. I'm very excited. I think it's legit gonna be like either really high tier rogue, like legit rogue, like topping events potential if it's in a good player's hands, or maybe even a tier 2 deck. I really don't see it being lower than that for the time, for once this comes out. Especially, like I said, you can also just play like stuff like Shifter in this deck. This deck is not really punished that hard by Shifter. Some, Dionea lines can get murked up by playing Shifter sometimes, but you would just hold off for a turn. And then I guess like getting Holetaea in grave, like you won't get that reborn later on. Like it's very small interactions that really get hurt by playing Shifter, but obviously we know the giant payoff of playing Shifter. Like it's just going to win you games going second. It's going to win you games going first. It just wins games. So that could still be another avenue, and then build the deck just with less tailored to make those graveyard plays a little less often, because Shifter's going to make up the difference in terms of power. So yeah, a lot going on. Really cool deck. Let me know your thoughts down below. I showed you a couple combos here. Feel free to let me know in the comments, by the way. I literally messed around with this for like 15-20 minutes to find some interesting little combos. I'd love to hear if you found some other combos and routes that are like really interesting that you think are worth noting. Please throw those down in the comment section below. But I'm out of here. I've rambled enough. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will catch you guys in the next video. Traptrix for life. Peace.